Hey, what is going on, you guys? I am James from James' Jeptiles, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how my animals were used to scam people by someone in LA. So we're going to get into that story in just a second, but there are two specific geckos I want to show you guys real quick and give you guys a little bit of backstory on them. So if we come over yonder to my gecko rack, the first gecko we have is Franny. Franny is a rescue. She has no fingertips. Well, she's got like two on all of her toes, and she has this big scar on her tail. So how did I get Franny? Where did Franny come from? I have a friend who works at the PetSmart in town, and I get a call from her one night. She knows I keep leopard geckos, and I get a call, hey, we have this gecko, it was just dropped off. Someone found it in a tank behind a dumpster with a gash in the tail, and they took it here. So I go over and I get her. She's got this big old gash in her tail. Still super fresh, tons of dirt in it. So immediately I cleaned it off and I kept her on very sterile paper towel. A lot of people know this story, but this is Franny and she's doing a lot better. Her scab has all but healed, or however you say that expression. You can see it's a little discolored still, like you would have on like a fresh wound. But it is healed. It's not an open wound anymore. She's doing great. We're thinking this eye right here is a little fogged over. We're not sure if she can 100% see out of that eye. But she is missing all her fingertips. And she is very, very, very large. I don't want to say overweight because, I mean, I don't... What is overweight on a leopard gecko? And what's the science behind that? I'm sure there's a sheet out there somewhere that says, oh, this many grams. But who made that sheet? How long ago? You know, what information did they know? I don't really trust that kind of stuff. But she was 98 grams when I got her, and she is currently slowly going down. She's 95 right now. So this is Franny, short for Francesca. Francesca was the worker there who took her in, so I named her after her. So this is Franny. Let's take a look at that second gecko. So this next gecko I just got today, and his name is Sparky. So Sparky is a slightly different story. So Sparky was purchased by that pet store to sell, and my understanding is that Sparky wasn't eating, so they started hand feeding him, and then they slowly started to realize that Sparky is blind. Now I don't quite know how they know. They just said they've been hand feeding him and it's the only way he eats. Honestly, like I could wiggle my pinky in front of him, like he moved a little bit, right? But normally if you wiggle your hand in front of a gecko, they wouldn't move anyway, so I don't know how they know. But they said, hey, if you want to come get him, you know, since it is technically one we bought, we can't just give him to you like the last one. And I said, you know, I'm not really a rescue. I can't just go around buying animals that need to be taken care of. Like, what am I going to do with it, right? So they got back to me and they're like, hey, look, like technically, yes, we do have to sell it to you, but we're going to sell it to you for 1 penny. You can check this receipt. Hopefully there's no actual information. Total 1 penny. And so they rung it up for 1 penny, and I said, I don't even have a penny. Can I use card on a penny transaction? And they're like, honestly, there's a penny on the ground and we'll just use that. So that's what we did. So this is Sparky. Same deal with Franny. Eventually he is going to go to forever home. I can't just keep these geckos forever as much as I'd love to. It just doesn't make sense as a business. Maybe one day we can have rescue animals, but not right now. So this is Sparky. Yeah, he's cool. Like I said, I just got him today. Haven't even tried to feed him yet. So honestly, they said he's light sensitive, so they know he can see light, but they don't think he can see. And like, of course he's light sensitive. They're nocturnal animals, and he is obviously an albino, most likely Tremper or Rainwater. Obviously, there is no way to tell for sure, which is why you don't buy animals at Petco to begin with, or PetSmart, or either one, whatever. But I'm interested to see exactly how he is quote-unquote blind. Yeah, I need more information. But anyway, these are my two animals that I have taken in from a local pet store. I'm happy I know the people who work there, and they're very friendly, and they honestly do care a lot about the animals, which is a great thing, because if you guys don't know, I am closer to the Bay Area than I was. I used to live a lot closer to the Sacramento area. And I'll tell you right now, the people at those pet stores did not care about the animals. So, that story over, let's get into the main story of the video. How someone used my pictures to scam someone else, or attempt to scam someone else. So, it was the other day, I just posted a bunch of geckos for sale on MorphMarket. Nothing too crazy. The exact same day, I had a couple all black dark knights going out. It was a very expensive shipment. I was already stressing on it, and so this didn't make me feel any better about it. So I get a message, in a text message, which, to be honest with you, anytime, my phone number is on MorphMarket, but anytime anyone calls me, it's usually a little kid. Little kids always call, they don't email off of MorphMarket. 99% of people email, little kids call. They'll call me and be like, oh, is this James Reptiles? And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, oh, I like your leopard geckos or something. Like, they always do that, right? It's happened a handful of times. So I get a text and I'm like, they go, oh, is this James? And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a little kid, right? And I have text contacts, so I'm like, it's some lady named blah, blah, blah. So if anything happens, I can say her name and probably scare her and make her think I'm gonna tell her mom or something. So I'm like, yeah, this is him. How are you? Always try to be very friendly. And then they go, hey, you know, this is gonna be really weird, but it was this big paragraph in these pictures of these expensive black knights that just went out that day. And I'm like, oh no, like, is she trying to buy them? Did something happen? Did she get the package? What's going on, right? So I read into the paragraph and she said, hey, I am a new leopard gecko keeper and I'm looking to buy a collection. This guy locally in Orange County is trying to sell these geckos, and I was looking at buying his collection. And to do some research on black knights, I went on MorphMarket and found that the pictures look just like your pictures. Same, you know, I always take the picture on the hand. It's always these couple racks with the freezer in the background. She said, I kind of noticed that, and I wanted to know, are these your animals? Now, the picture she was referencing, I might be able to put them on screen or have my editor do that. Real good guy. It's the second video he was editing, and the first one was great. And so the pictures she sends me are straight off my Instagram. They're just cropped. They're just the baby black knights. They're from like a couple weeks ago. It's a couple different pictures. And I'm like, yeah, those are actually my geckos. And I told her, I was like, these two are the same one in that picture. And you know, those two just went out. And I'm like, that's really crazy. And she goes, yeah, she links me the Craigslist ad. She goes, here's the ad. So I click on this ad and it's Orange County. The first two pictures are some parent black knight pictures that I took the year before. And I must have posted it on Instagram. A lot of times if people ask me for pictures or parent pictures, I'll use those pictures for Instagram because I'm just lazy like that, right? So the first two pictures were those animals, and the rest were not mine, but they were like super snows that he was claiming were black knight super snows, and tangerine tornado geckos, which weren't mine. But a lot of the pictures looked kind of the same background, but I could tell they weren't mine. They were in like tanks or something like that. And I said, yeah, like those first two pictures of mine, and he was asking like $220 for any specific gecko, or, you know, a couple thousand for them all, or $1,500 for them all, or something like that. That was just crazy to me. I did make an Instagram post about this on the stories, so if you did see that, that's why it's that guy. The picture, the screenshot of the geckos on the text message are the ones she sent me, and then the Craigslist page. And I straight up posted the Craigslist post on my Instagram story with his phone number and all. And she said, I'm gonna send him a picture of your MorphMarket account and see what he says. And I said, please let me know. So it's been about a day and a half. We haven't heard anything back. I thought it was kind of hilarious, but at the same time, it's very upsetting, right? Imagine you're trying to buy geckos and you don't think about researching it first, and this guy gets you to send him, you know, a down payment of $500 or something. Unfortunately, there's not a lot I could do there. I could watermark my pictures. That is a lot of work. People can still find ways around it. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do that yet. Please comment, let me know what you guys think, if there's a different way of doing it, or if you think, you know, the iconic Maya hand with the background, if you think that's enough, let me know. I'd be interested to hear what you guys say, but I just feel really bad that people are using my animals and my pictures straight off my Instagram and trying to sell people those geckos. I don't know if he was trying to say, hey, these are the babies that you could produce, or if he was saying, hey, I also have these for sale. But he was definitely trying to get money from this person, and you know, he's probably doing it again. So if you're anywhere in the Southern California area, my name is James Reptiles. I'm in Northern California. Please email me directly at jamesreptiles.com if you have any questions, if you're curious about anything, if you just want to make sure. Always do your research, always do your due diligence and double check, triple check anything, especially when you're spending a lot of money. If you're spending a lot of money, just double check anything. No one's going to be upset if you double check, right? If I'm spending any kind of money, I double check everything, and I'd want someone to double check, right? I want someone to, you know, make sure everything's okay, because this lady could have easily gotten scammed out of a bunch of money thinking they were my geckos or they were super nice geckos. And, you know, she could have sent this guy money, not gotten anything, and then saw me post on Instagram and be like, hey, what the heck are you doing? You didn't send me your geckos thinking I'm this guy or something. What I think happened is he probably went on Instagram, looked up Black Knight leopard geckos because he knows they're expensive on the hashtags, and then saw my pictures. That's what I'm assuming happened. But I actually had a couple friends that say, you know, when someone's using your pictures to scam people for reptiles, that's how you've made it. And it does feel bad saying that, but in a way it's true. Everyone who's got really nice, really expensive animals always has someone use their pictures. So we see this happen in our friend group to a lot of different people. I personally know a lot of people who've had this happen to them. And this is the first time it's happened to me, but it's always people with very expensive, high-end animals. And it's one of those catch-22s where I'm flattered that, you know, my animals are nice enough to do that, but it's just a horrible thing. So I really feel for that person, and if this happens to anyone, I apologize. There's not much I can do to help you out, unfortunately. Just keep your eyes out, people. If you're not sure, it's better just to go on a different road. And if you're not sure, go on MorphMarket and contact an actual breeder. Never buy something expensive on Craigslist. That's just such a bad idea. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think I can do to make those pictures better. And tell me if you think 1 penny was too expensive for that leopard gecko. Alright, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.